Hello everybody, welcome to Nintendo Expansion Pass here on Watch Push Games. I'm your host and I take an excited Eddie V with a hurt finger at this time. And joining me is the one, the only bossman himself, Mr. Corey Dirrig. Hello, good sir.
Hello, Edward. You sound tired.
I'm not really tired. I just watched the movie for a podcast I'm going to be seeing next Wednesday at the time of this recording. I'll be in Chicago. Going to go see How Did This Get Made, and I just watched the movie that they posted on YouTube, and it's a wacky wild one, a martial arts film, I should say. So, but I'm probably gonna go early and maybe snag Grace and be like, hey, you and the partner want to go out for a quick snack, and then I'll head to my place, but I don't know yet or anything. I gotta see how that goes.
Okay, you do you, bro.
Yeah, so so literally like next week I'm literally just working Tuesday, a 10-hour day, and then Wednesday I got all off. So Monday's like my last vacation day. And then Tuesday I work, and then Wednesday another day off that I requested. Then I'll fully be back at work that following week.
Okay.
So, how are you?
Tired, but I'm here. It's all good. It's good. Just kind of trying to adjust some stuff. So that's how it goes.
The land of entertainment, I should say.
Yeah.
Well, everybody. Yes, Corey.
No, I didn't.
Well, everybody, we do have another time capsule episode. This time we are doing GameCube, Wii, and Wii U. But this time we are giving each of them 5 games, because there's so much on each of these systems that really speaks about that system during their time and why they still are beloved, or there's something that people need to experience. We got some wacky ones. We got some kind of obvious ones. I definitely know I was kind of thinking about some games that have came to one console but also came to another console in a better like a better version of them in that port. So I had to figure out how I was going to do this and everything. So in case of you have one of the games that I have, Corey, I'm going to replace it with another game and vice versa and stuff. Because I don't know how our Wii U list is going to look like. Our Wii U list is probably going to be very interesting. Our Wii one, not so much. GameCube, not so much. Our Wii U one, yeah, that's going to be one that I'm like, yeah. So,
okay.
So let's start with GameCube. Who wants to go first?
Well, I'll go first because mine are relatively simple. So the first game I think that should be on this list, which I'm debating on whether or not, but I'm going to anyway. Twilight Princess, Zelda Twilight Princess.
Ah, okay.
You look shocked. It's my favorite Zelda game.
I am shocked.
Why are you shocked?
Because we'll get to it later.
So Twilight Princess is my favorite Zelda game. It's one of my favorite games of all time. I really love it. It's funny because when I got the Wii version, but I also had the GameCube version pre-ordered, and so I actually ended up playing the GameCube version on the Wii because it had
Mm-hmm.
like the controller ports and stuff. Because I hated the motion controls, and I liked the GameCube game better. Although I did play the Wii version, a few years later, or not a few years, maybe like a year or two later.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but yeah, I really love Twilight Princess. I love the tone. Probably has the best dungeons in any Zelda game. I think Midna is the best companion type character out of the 3D games, right? Like,
Yes.
I don't think Midna's as annoying as like Navi or Fee or the other companions. So uh, Twilight Princess is my first pick. Also, I like that
And I
rendition. I think that's like the best looking Zelda, like the coolest looking Zelda. I mean,
uh-huh.
I have other Zeldas that like, Breath of the Wild is probably my favorite Zelda, but this is like the coolest looking Zelda, especially like you see the key art with her with like that sword and uh,
Yes.
you know, plus like when you meet her for the first time, she has like the black hood on and trying to disguise it. It's cool. It's cool.
It has it has what I feel like this is one of the darkest stories in the
Hmm.
series that literally works. It literally has one of my favorite dungeons, which everybody know that carries that clock mechanic kind of dreidel thing, and you're fighting that dragon fight is still so good to this very day. Like
Hmm.
I I love what it was really amazing on what they did with that game because I got it on GameCube first. I didn't have the Wii yet, and then I went back and bought the Wii version to play. So I own both copies. Well, actually, I own all three, but I kind of feel like with Twilight Princess, it it was a game that got delayed so much because I don't
Hmm.
know if they was restarting stuff in it or they just really needed time to clean things up and
Well,
add stuff.
I think they knew it was coming to the Wii also.
Mm-hmm.
And so my theory is that they kind of delayed it to kind of encourage people to buy the Wii version. And also
Yes.
I think they were trying to figure out how to incorporate the motion control into it. And obviously at the end of the day it ended up being like, you know, just a waggle and whatever. But like the other thing too about the Wii version, and this is also true of like the master version on the Wii U, is that the world is flipped from the GameCube version because in the GameCube version Link is left-handed, right?
Yeah.
But most people are right-handed, and so the only way they could fix that without like re-rendering the whatever is that they had to mirror the entire game so Link could swing the sword with the right hand because Link was left-handed.
I
So
always wonder how they did that in that game and
I mean,
everything.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, so that was the cool thing about that game is that like there were technically two different versions, and then obviously the Wii U version, which we'll get to eventually, I think.
See, and that's the one I thought you was gonna have. And you might
Well,
still have it.
I mean, on my personal list, I would, but I'm trying to like. It was hard to make that decision because I kind of just want to stay away from
Mm-hmm.
HD ports and stuff. Although I think we've probably had a couple on the previous episodes. I don't really remember because my brain
What?
hurts.
Well, I mentioned that I hinted at that, and um, because of um, that feels like it's the definitive edition
What, the
for
Wii U
now,
version?
the Wii U version, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
it is. If you have a chance to play the Wii U version and it never comes to Switch or Switch 2 or whatever they're doing,
yeah.
um, I highly recommend trying to find a Wii U and playing that version. Um, it's really good. So
All
that's
right.
my game.
Uh, well, for me, my first one is Odama. This was a game by Sega. How do you? No, it wasn't by Sega. I thought it was by Sega. Odama. Huh.
I don't know who it's
Well,
by.
it was developed by Vivarium and published by Nintendo in 2006.
Hmm.
Um, and it was created by the Cement creator Yutaka Ciota.
That that's probably the
Um,
Sega. That's the Sega connection you made.
yeah. And this is a pinball tactical game. Um, and I remember that I believe it came with a microphone in it.
You
Uh,
forgot that it was the spiritual successor to Sonic Spinball, the most important
it
Sega game.
was.
No, I was just making that up. I don't really
Oh,
know.
okay. I'm like, wait a minute. Is there?
No,
Was there?
I said that because I know how much you love Sonic Spinball.
Oh goodness, that's full questionable content.
Nope, best Sonic game.
Still prefer over any Grand Theft Auto game. But
They're not even the
Odama was
same
just
game.
I know.
Type of game.
I'm just talking about my list of questionable content games. But Odama was really something completely different that Nintendo did, um, and yeah, it had a GameCube microphone, um, and to mix pinball and tactical gaming, like strategy, it's just like you would never think about it and stuff. But I guess it was just so weird, and of course, it didn't really sell that well. But it
Shocker.
was just so it was just so wacky that it was something that you would least expect this to come from Nintendo, and that yet it works. And for some reason, it works because it's a crazy idea that Nintendo will fully go in at that time. I don't think Microsoft and Sony would ever put any effort to think that creativity and help develop and stuff or pay for that development for this game to be made. So check out Adama if you can, guys. Go watch it on like YouTube, like a playthrough. But if you can find it and you got a GameCube and things work, it's gonna be some money. But I think give it Odama a try, and that's why I
Didn't it
put
get
it on this
ported?
list. Huh?
Didn't it get ported to something newer?
Not that I know of. I only thing I know that it was only on GameCube.
Hold on.
Um,
I gotta look it up now.
Yeah, just GameCube, because this is a game that Nintendo published, and normally when Nintendo publishes a game, it doesn't go to any other platform. N-
Hmm.
Besides Wonderful 101, that's a different thing.
Hmm.
Hmm.
All right. Well, I guess it's my turn, huh? Eh? Eh?
Yes.
Hmm? All right, Ed. Another shocker here for you. Pikmin 1 is
Ooh.
my second game. Pikmin 1 is such a satisfying experience, and I know there's been you know the people would prefer 2 or 3, or in 4 has a lot of quality of life changes, and uh
Mm.
definitely the in my opinion the best one since 1. But 1 was so interesting at the time, and it was pretty much Nintendo's version of like a real-time strategy game, or like a that kind of game. And it was like finding the ship parts was really fun, and the better you did, the better ending you could get. And like I know like the best you could possibly do was like 17 days out of 30, and like because like you had 30 days to find all the pieces to your ship, right? And so uh there was like a minimum amount of ship parts that you needed to leave, but then there was also like if you found all the parts, you got a better ending, and then if you beat it in under a certain amount of days, you got a better ending. And so it was just really challenging to try to like find the best way to beat the game. I sat down, like when I got it, I remember it was a snow day. uh I got Pikmin for Christmas, I want to say Christmas.
Hmm.
Yeah, Christmas. And I got the guide with it, and I sat down and I beat it in one sitting. And
Crazy.
I mean, it's not a very long game, to be fair, but it was still like
Hmm.
you know, I ended up like going upstairs like right after breakfast and eating lunch in my bedroom, and then like finishing it and then going downstairs to eat dinner. It was like the day. So
uh, I
I think the
think
game, I think you could probably beat the game in like 4 or 5 hours, but uh you know, it probably took me like 6 or 7.
yeah, I think we should have a discussion one day, expression pass on beating games in one day.
Mm.
Like if you started from beginning to end
Definitely can't do that
and
now.
everything. Oh yeah, but it'd be good to have that discussion because there are some games that is on that list for me. Ooh, Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and Sonic 2. Ooh, and that's getting all the Chaos Emeralds.
Hmm.
So, uh,
Yeah. Well, you
well,
know,
but Pikmin's a really good one.
yeah,
Yes.
Pikmin's awesome.
Oh,
I hope everybody out there buys Pikmin for Switch. It's like $30, I think, the first one. Definitely recommend it.
the one, the two. Yeah, I still gotta order it.
Hmm.
And get it. Um, so, my second one, Corey probably could already guess what this one is. It's Ikaruga. And I
Mm.
did this one for GameCube. And the reason why I did it for GameCube was because Atari published this. And I think
Mm.
at the time, I didn't know that Atari was publishing anything. And this was a treasure game. So Atari publishing a Japanese game um, that never really came to America. It was big in the arcades in Japan. Um, but I remember getting this game like used at GameStop,
Mm.
and it was $40 and stuff, which was fine at the time. But I had just never heard of it, and I looked in the back, and when I seen that it was from Treasure, I had to buy it. And like when I got it, of course, I played that game daily and was getting my tail kicked because it was just like, okay, it's 5 stages, but then you see just because it has 5 stages doesn't explain the level design in that game. And playing Ikarugo with one player is when you're playing as one player, it's kind of as a puzzle game in a sense. It's a puzzle shooter in a sense. But when you have another player with it, you both probably could get through the game easier and stuff. Even with a simple gameplay, but it's a very challenging game. So Ikaruga is on mine because yeah, it would give people a long time playing. And you get a limited continues, but you gotta put work into that game for a long time to get it and stuff.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, Ikaruga's my second game. Yeah, and just weird that out of the blue, Atari would publish a game on Nintendo GameCube. Like, and it didn't come to any other consoles until like later on. Because I don't know who published the 360 version of it. But I know Atari did GameCubes. Uh, so that's my number two. Corey, what's your number three?
Nice. My number three. My number three is Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2.
Yes,
Um
yes.
it it is definitely like one of the best, if not the best looking game on the GameCube, hands down, in my opinion.
Shout out
It
to Factor 5.
Yeah, it also like I mean, I remember at it wasn't I think it was at E3. I think Space World was over by then. But
Mm-hmm.
uh no, maybe it was Space. Did they show off the GameCube launch games at E3 or at Space World that year?
E3.
E3. Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought Space World was over by then. Uh but like they showed a side-by-side comparison of the special editions of the original trilogy and the game, and like you could barely tell at the time, right? I mean, obviously CG was still pretty primitive in the mid 90s, right? And like
Mm-hmm.
the graphics of video games were starting to get better and better, but like, man, Rogue Squadron 2 looked amazing. It looked incredible. And like the gameplay was awesome, and like the and I mean, I've only played a little bit of the N64 Rogue Squadron, but like Rogue Squadron 2, like the cool thing was like you could like command your wingmen, and there was a bunch of codes to get other ships, and you could complete missions in other ships. And the funniest one was like uh you could drive George Lucas's Buick, uh which was funny, and the Millennium Falcon, and Darth Vader's tie advanced fighter. And uh there was also like episode 1, maybe one of the one of the movies was coming out. It might have been episode 2 at the time, but you could fly the Naboo starfighter, which was super cool. And it was just a really great game. The controls were great. Everything was just great. I think, I mean, Rogue Squadron 3 also came out on the GameCube, and it was good. It was okay. It added on foot missions, which was kind of like took away from what the game is. But I actually think the closest thing you're going to get to Rogue Squadron now is the Star Wars game that came out, the Squadrons. Star Wars
Yeah.
Squadrons is actually probably the closest thing you're going to get to that, and it's pretty good. I think people liken it more to like X-wing versus TIE fighter or something, but it's still a really decent fight game. So I would check that out. But man, if we got some sort of HD version of of Rogue Squadron, of the Rogue Squadron trilogy, or even just the first and second game, man, which apparently that was in the works for Xbox, and then something happened and it didn't happen. But they had prototypes running on Xbox at some point, Xbox 360. So
For Rogue Squadron 2.
for the trilogy, like a trilogy.
Oh.
They were planning on porting
Um
them. They were planning on porting them all to Wii, and then Nintendo decided they didn't want it, so they pitched it to Microsoft. And apparently, they had prototypes running, and then something happened. They shut down somewhere.
if I
Was it?
if it's not because of Factor 5 went out of business, um that would be the only thing I could think of. Um
Yeah. Well. Oh well. Sorry, Factor 5. Still a great game.
and a very talented team. Very
Yeah.
talented.
Why
Um
did they go out of business? I don't even remember that either.
I think that some of their games just wasn't selling and stuff.
Let's
So
see. It just says in 2009, Factor 5 shut its doors due to financial trouble. So,
yeah. Uh well, uh for me my number 3 is Eternal Darkness. This is the one game that made a company called Silicon Knights very popular. Um, it was a M-rated game for Nintendo. It was something completely different, something new. Uh, they kind of invented the insanity effects. Um, and it was just something very different, like Nintendo getting into the survival horror um genre at that time. And it only received just that one game for it, and it played on a lot of people's emotions with that. I think Iwata was president at the time. I think. So we was getting like different kind of games coming to the Nintendo's GameCube. So games like Twin Snakes was another one. Uh, that was kind of just like, oh, someone's working with Konami. Silicon Knights were working with Konami and Kojima to bring Twin Snakes to the GameCube, and it's all because of Eternal Darkness and stuff.
mhm.
So, my number 3 is Eternal Darkness, and I really wish it would. I really wish that it got like a remake or a port to something, but Unfortunately, it is still in the vault. So,
Mm, mm. Rip. Uh,
yes.
all right, Ed. My fourth game. And man, I know I'm picking all first party games, but I can't help it. The fourth game on my list is Luigi's Mansion.
Of course,
It's
yes.
an amazing launch game. I think it's hilarious. I know a lot of people were really mad that it didn't launch with a Mario game, but Luigi's Mansion, I think, uh, was an incredible experience. Searching the mansion for the booze, and it kind of had like a Metroid element to it because you had to like backtrack to unlock doors and find other ghosts and things unlocked as you move through the mansion. It was just really great. It's really funny. Luigi calling out Mario is super iconic. The theme song is like as iconic as of a theme song as you know. I think a lot of
Hmm.
people who had a GameCube and played GameCube in that time, if you started humming the Luigi's Mansion theme song, they would know it, right? It's just that I think it's
Did
super
Luigi hum it
iconic.
himself?
Yeah, well, that and yeah, he hums it himself, but it's also playing in the background. And like when you enter the dark spaces where something is like where the music's not playing, he'll hum it like, and his hums get louder, and then like his voice starts quivering because it's dark while he's humming.
Hmm.
And then when he calls for Mario, it's really fun too. The only thing with that game is that the controls are inverted, and I had the hardest time adjusting to it. And you can't change the controls, so
Oh
it
no.
was so. Oh my gosh, I was so upset.
That I think that's why we're hoping it comes to Switch, uh, and they add inverted controls so they fix the controls.
Yeah, well, 3 has you can change your controls in 3, so I don't see why especially because Dark Moon is coming, which is also a great game. I think everybody should play. I think it's a little bit too ambitious, but it's still really fun. Uh, and it's coming to Switch next year. So
Hmm.
yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
back to
Well,
you, Edward.
all right. My number four, y'all already know, Tales of Symphonia.
Yeah.
Like beyond the 60 frames per second, this really got people into the Tales game. I remember the characters. I remember playing this game with my uh friend and his son, and like we took the time to beat it. I remember renting this game at Blockbuster and beating it within the 5 days and everything. And
Mm-hmm.
ended up going to GameStop and buying this game and just loving everything about it. And um I didn't do a lot of the side quest stuff. Um but I remember trying to find like the secret enemies and the combos and everything because I don't think it had a strategy guide that you could just up and buy and stuff.
I think it
And
did.
it
I
was
think I had it at one point.
oh, okay,
Maybe it
cool.
didn't. I don't know. I don't. Hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna look it up.
And I remember it was
Nope.
a different kind of role playing game for me because it's just like going in and then you're doing like a beat 'em up action style game, and it moved in 3D, even though it was on a 2D plane. So I'm just like, oh, that's very cool. I like that. Um, and everything. So, uh, it came on 2 discs, and I was just like, just enjoying everything about it, loving the characters, and and really appreciating the voice acting in this game for these characters and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Um, it
Yeah.
was just such a phenomenal game. I think that's why when and I did play it on PS3 also. Um and that's why I feel like when they announced that this game was coming to Nintendo Switch, I jumped for joy. Like a lot of us did. And it wasn't really well received and like
It's
not a
because they
really
ported the
well made
PlayStation 3
port.
version, and that
Um
one was noticeably like in terms of like technical problems and stuff. The
mhm,
PS3 had a lot of them, and so but it was the only one that like I don't remember if it was like the source code for the GameCube version was bad or like got lost or something. I don't really remember the story. It's something about the GameCube version. Uh, and the PS3 version was there. Did you play the sequel?
Yes, I did play the sequel.
I always heard that
Um,
wasn't very good.
it was okay. My nephew actually beat it.
Mm.
I never beat the sequel, but he would come over our house. He would ask the game for me, and he would play on my mom's Wii in her office, and he beat the game there. I'm just like, oh, congratulations to you! And that was his first Tales of Symphonia game. So I'm just like, oh, that's cool and everything. So that is my number 4. Corey, what's your number 5?
Oh man, I totally forgot about a game until you mentioned Tales of Symphonia, and then I thought you were gonna might pick this as your 5th game, but uh, I'm gonna go. Man, I feel like you're gonna pick this game, but I don't want to. You know what? I'm gonna
We
go a
sub-
different way. I'm gonna go a different way. I was gonna say Skies of Arcadia, but
Not on my list.
oh, what?
Yeah.
Skies of Arcadia. Okay, well, then I will take Skies of Arcadia. Skies of
All
Arcadia
right.
Legends. Uh, Although this was originally a Dreamcast game,
Mm-hmm.
Skies of Arcadia added a few new things, including a new character, some new missions and stuff. But it's one of the best RPGs that I don't think anybody really talks about. And man, if Sega's ever gonna port this game, man, what would be awesome would be like a remake of this game. But it's so good. I love the Sky Pirate stuff. I love all of the kind of the combat's good. It's very good. And Vice is like the main character. He like with a monocle is just hilarious. I don't think he wears it the whole time, but I know he has one. And it's just a really cool world, and the characters are awesome. It's just I think everybody should play this game. You played it though, right, Ed? You played it?
Yes, I did. I did like the ship combat stuff. I didn't
Yeah.
understand how that worked, but like the traditional gameplay stuff and the fighting,
Hmm.
totally loved that. Totally
Hmm.
loved it.
Yeah. I mean the ship combat was fun at the time. I don't know how well it holds up, because obviously games have evolved over the last 25 years, but it was interesting at the time. And obviously we've gotten ship combat in other places like Assassin's Creed, and uh, Star Wars has ship combat that's better, but
Hmm.
it was fun for at the time. And even if you didn't like it, like I think the story and the characters and the combat was worth fighting through that ship combat. So that's my 5th pick.
Yeah.
My sixth pick.
Man.
My sixth pick was Prince of Persia. Was on my list.
Says a time. Oh, that is
All
a
I mean,
phenomenal game.
all 3 of them are great.
Oh yeah. No doubt. That's the trilogy that we need. Like
I know it's
I
stuck on
would
PS3. The entire HD trilogy is on PS3.
bah.
I know, man. What a great series. I can't wait for the new one.
Yeah, that new
I always
goodness.
forget what it's called, but the new one looks awesome.
Yeah, I know that's something that we're going to be talking about. I think in the future, Corey. Uh,
Yeah, probably at
so
some point.
yeah, so well, actually, my number 5, Corey, it was Beautiful Joe.
Mm.
Uh, because it was the last game from Clover. Um, and everybody know Clover became platinum in a sense, but uh, I love the fact that it was wacky, it was challenging. I felt like it was kind of a different art style. And it reminded me of old Capcom games. It really had a Capcom feel to it. And Henshin a Go-Go, baby. Like, how can like that is another phrase. Capcom is probably king of all phrases in video games. Over Nintendo. Like uh stuff from Resident Evil, stuff from Mega Man, uh just a lot. Capcom, Ryu with his Hadouken and stuff. Chun-Li with her yata. Like Sonic Boom, Yoga Flame. Like Capcom is kind of king of video game phrases or sayings and stuff. So Beautiful Joe just so wacky, and Beautiful Joe 2 is just like superb. It's so good. Like they was able to capture the magic. But man, I love Beautiful Joe. And I remember getting that game on GameCube, paying when games were like only $50 and stuff. And
Only, yeah. Now small games are $50.
exactly. And it was just like I, I think it was their second game after Okami, I believe. Um, but yeah, Beautiful Joe. And I didn't put Resident Evil 4 on here because I feel like that's a given. And I think Resident Evil 4 is in a better state now, and definitely with people who got the remake and stuff for it. So
Yeah.
if I was gonna do Resident Evil 4, I it's not on none of my list. I would have put it on the Wii version of Resident Evil 4.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think Beautiful Joe is interesting. I never played it, so I'm probably part of the reason it never got a sequel. But
Oh,
uh
it got a sequel?
or I mean like a modern version. I know
Oh,
it got a sequel, Beautiful. Yeah, and like
oh,
yeah, I just never
yeah.
got it. Sorry everybody who wants a Beautiful Joe third game, trilogy game. Man, I
You
can't
know,
talk today.
at the time, I don't even think we was asking for a third sequel. I think we were asking just like,
I
I
don't
think
know.
we
I
just
think people
not want
really
a
wanted
port
that,
of it.
especially now. I mean, I don't know how relevant their answers are now, but people definitely wanted some sort of Beautiful Joe sequel.
Well, they do want an HD remaster because if Okami got one, they feel like Beautiful Joe deserves one. And for those who got, because I think Beautiful Joe did come from PlayStation 2. I think that has the Dante in it,
Hmm.
and everything. So, but I was just like, I would love to have Beautiful Joe on all platforms.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
Yes,
Well,
everybody. I know we didn't mention Soul Calibur 2. uh,
yeah, yeah. I mean, there are other games I would rather play than Soul Calibur 2.
yeah,
But
as
that's
much
my
as I
opinion.
and as much as I love Soul Calibur 2, I think people love it because of Link being in it. That's why it's
Hmm.
so much, and it plays great on it plays great on GameCube.
The
Um,
only
it's
the only
just
third party game to sell the most copies on GameCube, by the way. Fun fact.
oh wow. Um, but I kind of just feel like Soul Calibur. I just feel like there's other fighting games that could be thrown in the capsule and stuff.
Yeah.
So, um,
Well, cool games. Great games. GameCube, great console. And I mean,
yes.
we've talked about it before, but I think it's worth mentioning here too. I think GameCube is the perfect console to, do HD remasters of. And we've seen it already, right? I mean, how many GameCube games have been ported over? There have been so many and still more coming. And I think those games still hold up graphically, and it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't cost Nintendo, obviously a lot of money, and it would satisfy a lot of people who either missed those games or didn't have a GameCube or just want to, relive everything. And so I think we're going to see a lot more GameCube remasters, either the rest of this generation or into the next, or maybe like cross generation, because I can't see the next console not being backwards compatible with the Switch, especially with some of the stuff that's kind of coming out about it now. Um, and so, those GameCube ports, I mean, it was the same thing with the 3DS, right? Where like once the Switch started getting popular, we saw a lot of DS and, N64, some other remakes, even Game Boy and Game Boy Advance, right? Like we got
Mm-hmm.
Fire Emblem Shadows of Valencia. We got the Mario and Luigi games. We got a few. There was Yoshi's Woolly World ended up going to 3DS, and Donkey Kong Country Return. There's a lot of Wii games on there. So yeah,
Yes.
I think GameCube, we're going to start seeing a lot of those. I think we're going to see a lot of Wii um, ports, and hopefully we get the rest of the Wii U games moving over, because there's still some pretty good ones.
Mm-hmm. Yes, there is. Well, Corey, it's time to get to the Wii, and I'm going to
Link's
start
crossbow
this
training.
one. No.
Just kidding. Sorry, everybody.
The one game that we just been lately talking about, of course, everybody, for me, is Zack and Wiki. Like,
Oh man,
we're
that was
not
on my
gonna,
list.
dude.
It's like one of the
We're not
10
gonna.
Wii games I like. So in case you're newer here and you have missed some expansion passes or just general conversation, the Wii is far and away my least favorite Nintendo console.
Mm-hmm.
So there are very few games on my list, and Ed just took one of them. uh, but it's fine. I can rustle up some others. But yeah, Zack and Wiki is an amazing game.
It's so good, and even though it's a time-based puzzle game in a sense, with a little bit of physics and logic. Um, just love the animation and the characters and the artwork. It's just like, oh, this is so good, and the way you shake the Wii and everything. Uh, it was
Dude,
just something different.
Zack and Wiki seems like the perfect like $30 remaster that you could throw up on like the Xbox store or the eShop, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh man. Oh, it's
It,
so
what the
good.
thing, what the problem is that, well, the thing about it is that even if it's sold very well, they're gonna be like, this game feels like Mega Man Legends, so go ahead and give us a remake of that game or three. Like, people are going to nag Capcom to death to give them that,
Hmm.
because in look and feel, it feels like a Mega Man's Legend game, with Zack and Wiki, and it's just. I think it was an early launch game for the Wii from
Hmm.
Capcom. And it's so fun and it's so funny. And when you solve the problems and at the end you see how everything goes in there and stuff. So Zack and Wiki is my number one for Wii. Corey, what's your number one?
All right, my number one, Ed. It's probably the best JRPG you've never played, and I mean that wholeheartedly. Uh,
I know what it is, and I didn't add it to my
okay,
list. So
so Ed and I talk about we talk about Lost Odyssey a lot and Mistwalker, and how they've become like a obviously they make a lot of mobile games now, and their main mobile game right now is Fantasian, which is a kind of like a I want to say like a I don't want to say isometric, but kind of like a top down, kind of like I Am Setsuna or Lost Sphere, like that perspective.
mhm.
And it recently got rated for consoles, which is pretty cool. I hope it's coming to Switch or something, right? Because Fantasian looks awesome. Basically, Fantasian is like a they digitize a real diorama. They made their different like continents and stuff in a diorama, and took several thousand pictures to get everything just right, and scanned this diorama into their whatever program they're using or whatever engine they're using. And they created a digital world on top of this diorama. And that's the great part about that game. It's on Apple Arcade, and I think it's on some other mobile platforms. But uh Mistwalker's The Last Story on Wii, it came with a Wii Pro controller. uh And man, that game is just incredible. The
It
combat is awesome. Go ahead, Ed.
Oh, I was just gonna say the box art, as simple as it is
Mhm.
beautiful.
Yeah,
It's just gorgeous. It's simple, but it's just like, how does something so simple look beautiful and gorgeous?
yeah. I mean, it. The thing is like the Wii is such a the graphical power of that console is so outdated by the time this game came out, but they still managed
Mm,
to capture the essence of a mod at the time, like a modern JRPG, and it was just one of the best. I mean, I think if I was to do like a top 25 list on the Wii, that game would be in the top 5 probably, in my opinion. Maybe the top 3. It's really awesome, and I think if you can find it, this was part of the Operation Rainfall, right?
Rainfall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which was this Xenoblade Chronicles and Pandora's Tower, which is also a really good action RPG. I think people should play it that too. But the last story, if you have like $150 burning a hole in your pocket, you can go on eBay and find a copy. If you want the collector's edition, it's good luck. I
It
I
it
think.
literally was. Oh, go ahead, Corey. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say I love the characters, and in the story is really good, and it's not too long, but it's definitely, if you have a Wii or a Wii U hooked up and you are looking for an RPG to play, that's a good one.
Yeah, it was one of the games that just like Xenoblade Chronicles, Pandora's Tower, and the last story. It's just like those were the three games. If you did not pre-order them, you were not getting a copy
Hmm.
because
Yeah.
I. Oh, go ahead. Go
Oh,
ahead.
I was gonna say, like, those, like, the only place Nintendo was selling them of all places was GameStop. So,
Mm-hmm.
that was also interesting decision.
And the thing about it is, I think it's sold well because of the pre-orders. I'm not so sure about that, but those games were sold out, and you were not seeing a used copy. The only thing that you would probably see used is Xenoblade Chronicles because GameStop was trying to get people to come back in and trade the game in so they could get a better deal, so they could resell it at a higher price. And it was just like, no, I paid my $50 for this pre-order. I'm going to keep my copy, and pretty much if you see it now, it's because everybody bought Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. That's the
Hmm.
only reason why you will see a lot of Xenoblade Chronicles uh for uh for Wii out.
Hmm.
But like Pandora's Tower and the last story, wasn't nobody turning that game in for no amount of money
Yeah.
because it was just like we knew that it was going to be a collector's item of a game.
Yeah. Um, Upon release, it sold 116,000 units in North America. Um, it doesn't say how many copies it sold altogether in this article, but I mean, it sold a lot. But it was something that, like Ed said, if you didn't pre-order it, you weren't going to get it, and that makes me sad because that game needs some sort of like remaster or remake or something, and I don't know who owns the rights to that. I think Mistwalker still owns the rights to it because I think that's a game that Nintendo maybe would have put out once they saw Xenoblade Chronicles take off,
Mm-hmm.
especially with 2, right? And so, um, I think Zale is a great character. There's also like an arena mode, which is like 2 to 4 player co-op missions and competitive missions and stuff, and I never got into that stuff. So,
Yeah. So yeah, Nintendo published it here, and uh, oh no, Nintendo published the last story in other regions, and XC published it here.
mhm.
Um,
I'm gonna look up who owns last story IP. Um, they are copyrighted by Nintendo. All copyright and trademarks belong to Nintendo, according to GameFAQs. Um, and it is copyrighted by Nintendo. And it looks like Nintendo owns The Last Story and Pandora's Tower, but Mistwalker also owns some part of it too. So maybe
mhm.
they would have to come to some sort of deal or agreement to get that done. But
Yeah. I think because they got Exit involved also in, they would have to have a say too
Yeah.
for it. Um,
Yeah.
and I literally actually Corey, I would be fine just if they just did an eShop drop for Switch. I would literally be fine. If they don't want to do physical, fine. But if they could get like the eShop digital version, oh heck yeah. That 100 they would go up in sales.
I
And
mean,
Nintendo
see,
would be
here's the
like,
thing. I don't think enough people know about the last story to care at this point.
mm-hmm.
You know what I
I
mean? Like
think
I would love it, and like obviously,
mm,
you know, I've been wrong about certain games before, but like to me, this isn't a Xenoblade Chronicles situation where like
oh,
Xenoblade.
oh
It could be like potentially it could be if they re-released it and
yeah.
said, "Hey, this is a great RPG," but like right now it doesn't definitely did not like this and Pandora's Tower, like
Mm,
I would be shocked if people like, the average consumer, the average Nintendo consumer has clearly heard of Xenoblade, most of them. Uh
I think if people have
unless
seen
you're
it
like just a family who wants to play Mario Kart all the time, but
right. But I think the people who know about this and uh and probably some content creators and stuff, they talk about it. They see everybody's excitement. They hear on podcasts on why those two games are important and get the history and stuff. I I think because during that time with the Wii, they Nintendo wasn't as big as Sony and PlayStation when it came to games and popularity and talking about them. But I think now Nintendo is in a great spot that more people would get their eyes on and be like, the last story, I never heard of this. I'm like, it came out on Wii. When people would just be like,
Mhm.
would kind of be confused, but I think they would be interested. $40 for each game would be fine with me, or do it a 2-pack at for $80 or discount $70 or whatever. I think people will be interested there to be like, okay, this is something that I definitely miss. I think I'm gonna give this a try, even if they remastered it and everything. I think it would get more eyes on it because now it has a time to be better marketed, and people know that Switch is known for the JRPGs on the system. So if that's before Switch 2 or whatever the next console come out to be, if they put this game out, people gonna be like, you need to make sure that you buy this game.
Yeah, I mean that I mean, man, Pandora's Tower is really good too. It's not as good. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's clearly just I it definitely doesn't hold a candle to something like the whatever game we were just talking about. The Last Story
The last story.
or Xenoblade, right? I mean, those are
Mm-hmm.
clearly two uh beyond great games, but I still think Pandora's Tower is actually worth, especially if you like. I would say it's more of like an action game, really, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's got a cool world to explore. Uh, the characters are really interesting. It's just that game too is just really cool. So
Yes. Ooh, excuse me. Well, my next game is, and I'm going to. I had a lot of talk and debate about this game today. Metroid Other M. I Someone asked what is the most underrated Metroid game, and the poster who posted it put Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, and I put well, no, Other M is kind of underrated, and I just got a whole bunch of comments, a whole bunch of discussions and stuff.
hmm.
And I really think this game is so good. It was one of my game of the years for Wii, and what game of the year when it came out because like I tell people, it was something new for Metroid. We never got a narrative story for Samus. Now you could debate on some of the choices that were made in the game, but this was done by Team Ninja, and this was kind of like one of Nintendo's kind of first workings with them with Team Ninja. Not Kobe Tecmo itself, but just Team Ninja itself.
Hmm.
Um, and for them to take this game and like the action is good, the boss fights are great, it's very challenging at times, It's easier to 100% if on your first try if you want to do that. Um, and it really and I tell people I'm like, if you play Ninja, not Ninja Theory, Team Ninja's earlier games, like with the Ninja Gaiden games and stuff, you will
Mhm.
appreciate this game better because you don't. Not only are you fighting the enemies, you don't have to fight the controls, and you don't have to fight the camera and stuff, and it's not going to kick your tail. But
Mhm.
it's just such a great game and yeah, it is dark and stuff, but I'm like, I really love the decisions and the new things they brought to the game, because I really feel like I didn't want it to meet my expectations of being another Metroid game, on this formula and stuff. So I feel like they kind of changed the formula, and it turned out to, yeah, there are some questionable things about it, but it turned out to be something different. It literally stands out on its own, and after playing so much Metroid games in the series itself, I needed something really fresh, and I feel like Other M did that for me.
Mhm.
And yes, Mercury Steam did a phenomenal job with Samus Returns and Metroid 4. So no, Metroid 5, I'm sorry. So yeah, I Metroid Dread, I should say. So yeah, Other M, Metroid, that's my number 2.
Yeah, I actually don't think Metroid Other M is as bad as everybody says it is. I actually think it's pretty good. I know everybody was like, "Oh, let's give Samus a voice and a backstory." That's stupid. I'm like, "Why is it stupid?" I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. So, all right, well, I guess it's my turn. Man, we're already an hour into this episode, Ed. Are you sure you want to do Wii U on this one too?
Yes.
Oh no, not for expansion pass. Maybe we should divide it into two. We should put the Wii U with the Switch and the 3DS.
3DS. Okay, if you want to.
Yeah, we should do that.
You
Did
wanna
we
you
do
wanna move
3DS
you wanna
already?
No, we haven't. I
Okay, I
I
don't.
I moved 3DS with Switch, but if
Okay,
you want to do Wii U, 3DS, and Switch, we could do that.
yeah, we should do that. We should definitely do that
Okay.
because we're an hour in and we're not even halfway through the Wii yet. But my next game, Ed, probably one of my favorites, is New Super Mario Brothers Wii.
Oh,
I I mean,
yeah.
you know how I feel about 3D Mario games, but 2D Mario games. I love the new Super Mario Brothers series, and like I've been playing Mario Wonder
Hmm.
uh in the last few days, and because we're recording the Monday after, not after, I don't know when Wonder came out. What, a week ago, 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
uh at the time of this recording, and like I still haven't gotten to that moment of like WTF aha moment in the game. I think it feels like a natural progression of the new Super Mario Brothers series. And granted, the game is still amazing, but I haven't gotten to the like, oh, this is the best Super Mario game since Super Mario World. And I'm like, okay, but feel like I feel like here's the comparison I'm making is like new Super Mario Brothers series was like Mario 3, this is the Super Mario World to their Mario 3, right? That's how I see it, and I actually think some of the power ups in New Super Mario Brothers are better. But well, whatever, we'll save that conversation for a different day. Uh, but New Super Mario Brothers Wii was awesome. Just classic 2D platforming. I played it by myself. I'm not having these jerks knock me off the ledge and waiting for them to pop the bubble and stuff. But it was really fun. The castles were really fun. The level design in the Wii version is great, and actually I think the Wii U version is like even better. But
Uh-huh.
I really liked new Super Mario Brothers Wii, and I don't know if I have anything else to say about it. It had a few interesting things about it. It had great level design. And I know people complain that Mario was a little floaty, and I kind of agree, but I didn't really affect my appreciation and love for the game. So
It's the only game that my mom took all three saves and 100% of each one of them.
yeah.
Like, how did you do this? Literally, dude, she 100%ed everything on her own.
Hmm.
I may have helped once or twice, but when she found out on how to do it, she's like, I got it, and she 100% a whole save and left it at there.
Nice.
Mhm.
Well, Ed, it's your turn.
Punch Out. Like
Oh
Punch
yeah,
Out is
Punch
so
Out, man.
good on Wii. It is so
Oh man, so
good
good,
on
man.
Wii. And I loved it because I think it ended up being like $20 like later on down the line and
Yeah,
stuff. Um
but it was still good. It was so good,
yes, it's like beautiful graphics. You got to fight Donkey Kong as a
which
update
is funny.
and as like free DLC. And it was just so, of course it was so different and everything, but it reminded us why we missed the Punch Out series, because it's and all in all there's four games, but there's only three in the series that came to console. Well, rephrase that, all four of them are now on console. You got the arcade version,
Hmm.
which is also arcade archive on Switch.
Hmm.
um you have Mike Tyson Punch Out slash regular Punch Out on, I think, Nintendo and Wii. When they did like the WiiWare kind of thing.
Hmm.
You have Super Punch Out that was on Super Nintendo. I think the Punch Out games might be on Switch during NSO. So but
Maybe I think
but
so.
uh but the Wii version of Punch Out is only on just the Wii at
I
this
know.
time.
Gosh, stop
But yeah,
leaving great games on the Wii. Stop it.
it's so good, and it's literally they call it a pass a controller kind of game. So like, if you didn't beat him, you would pass the controller to the next person, and they have a chance on it. And it's just so good. And like EGM gave it a 10 and everything, and yeah,
Yeah,
Punch Out for Wii is on my list. That
it's a
definitely
good
goes
one.
into the time capsule.
It's a good one. All right, my next game, Ed, third party game, Ubisoft game. Uh,
Ooh.
I think you know what I'm gonna pick, Ed. It's a very colorful platformer in Rayman Origins. I
Yes.
mean, remember when we saw that and just how much it popped, and it came to 3DS and other consoles as well, but man, what a great platformer. And obviously like Rayman Legends takes that formula to the next level, but Rayman Origins had such a great art style, great level design. Even like it had like the background had animations in it too, right? And
Yeah.
which is something we didn't really see from Nintendo until Donkey Kong Country Returns, also, right? I mean, I think Mario, New Super Mario had some, but this background animation was like, you know, next level. And I thought the levels were great. I think the multiplayer made it better if you had somebody who knew what they were doing. uh it's Rayman Origins is incredible. Another game that needs ported to newer consoles as well. uh Rayman Origins on Xbox is backwards compatible, so you can play it there, but man, it's so good. So good, man.
You remind, I had to change one of my games because you reminded me of color and everything. So originally everybody, it was going to be Sin Punishment 2 for my game.
I thought you were gonna
Uh
pick that.
yeah, I had it on there, but I changed it because if we're gonna do add Rayman and we're talking about color, of course the Blob 2. Like, I'm not about to leave that game off this list. The Blob 2 not only is it funny, it's beautiful in color. I love the platforming game. The music is phenomenal in this game. And yes, you can play the Blob 2 on other platforms to get a better experience. But like, I played the first one, I was blown away on how good it was. Playing part two, and it's just like, dang, THQ, you got it. You got it. You got it. And it just hooked me in, and it was just like, even after I colored the whole world and before I could go to the exit, I was still trying to 100% levels in that game. and it plays so well, and it's just like it's very beautiful when everything is colored.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yes, another game that's not on my list, A Boy and His Blob, the one,
I'm
the
shocked that's
remake.
not on your list.
It- yeah, love you. Wait for it. Wait for it knows how those guys loved them. But I didn't put it on my list, because just like the Blob 2 is it's just so good. It's just so impactful, and I think you need to experience that game the right way. And I feel like the Wii version is the way to go. So the Blob 2 is my pick. Corey, what is your final pick?
Man, uh, man, I have two. I don't know what to pick now. I actually think
I have two also.
my my final pick. I think it needs to be. I think it needs to be Wii Sports. I thought about picking Indiana Jones and Fate of Atlantis, but it's got to be Wii Sports, man. Like Wii Sports
Yeah,
is like that is the Wii. You talk about the Wii, like you talking about Wii Sports. I mean, people bought the Wii for Wii Sports, right?
esports.
And never bought another game. Some of them, and some. I mean, tennis is such a classic game. Wii Bowling is like the quintessential bowling game ever made. Uh, and then I think the golf game was okay. And I know people probably would rather have Wii Sports Resort on this, but I never played it, so uh, Wii Sports is on my list. I don't know how much more I can say about Wii Sports. It was just incredible. So, man, I remember hooking my Wii up, and I had Zelda. I bought Zelda and Red Steel, and instead of playing those games, I ended up playing Wii Sports for like 2 hours at my cousin's house. And then I got really sick and had to wait to play both of those games, which is like, okay, I waited to play Zelda anyway because of the GameCube version. But
Uh,
oh man,
it's
man,
funny
that was a
that you mentioned Red Steel because I was debating of adding Red Steel too.
yeah. Red Steel 2 is amazing. Red Steel 1, do not play. Hard pass.
It was interesting in the promos for at the time the Revolution.
Hmm.
Uh
That was the first game they showed for it.
yeah,
It wasn't even a
yeah,
Nintendo game. It was Red Steel. It was on the cover of Game Informer magazine at the time. It had like it said what Nintendo's Revolution, and then it had like a reflection of the console in a sword because Red Steel was the game they were promoting.
yeah, yeah. So, but my actual number 5 is Xenoblade Chronicles. Like, if we're gonna go with the last story, we're gonna have to go with Xenoblade Chronicles,
Yeah.
uh, because like the original is just so good. Love the definitive edition. Don't get me wrong. And that is the right way to play it. But I'm like, if we're talking about like just original stuff, like when it first appeared and everything, Xenoblade Chronicles, all the signatures, all the talk, and the trial that Nintendo's like, well, we'll give you guys this, but you got to get it through pre-order, and the numbers showed Nintendo that we wanted a game like this, and so, Xenoblade Chronicles, yeah, that would be my number 5, my fifth game on this list.
Hmm.
And like I said, Red Steel 2, phenomenal game, so good.
Yeah. So good, man. It's very good. Very, very good.
Uh,
Well, Ed,
Brett,
I
did
guess
you
we
get your
could.
last game in?
Yeah, I went. I think so. Yeah, I had Last Story, Pikmin, New Super Mario, Rayman, and Wii Sports. That's
Okay,
five, right?
that's fine.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
because
those are
I
five.
did Zakawiki,
Five.
Metroid, Other M, Punch Out, The Block 2, is Xenoblade Chronicles. Okay,
We did
yeah,
it. I mean, I guess we
yes.
could run through Wii U real quick if you want. Do we want to?
We can save it for Switch.
Okay. I just I don't know. Expansion pass episodes are supposed to be shorter, but we're
Yeah,
already
we can
at
save it for
an
Switch.
hour and 10 minutes, so okay. we'll wait. Sorry, everybody who was waiting for your, the 12 people out there who bought Wii U's and wanted to, see a top
So
list.
to so to let everybody know, for GameCube, for me, it's Odama, Ikaruga, Eternal Darkness, Tales of Symphonia, Beautiful Joe. For Wii, it's Zack and Wiki, Metroid Other M, Punch Out, The Block 2, and Xenoblade Chronicles. And I would also like to recommend Red Steel 2. Corey, you have your list?
Yeah, didn't I just read it off?
Not for GameCube. You did Wii.
Oh, for GameCube. So I had Luigi's Mansion, Pikmin, Twilight Princess, Skies of Arcadia, and what was my fourth game? What did I miss? Ed.
Oh, Star Wars Rogue Galaxy 2.
Rogue Squadron 2. Right.
Squadron. Yeah.
Wow. Can't believe I forgot already. That's fine. It's all right. It's good. It's all good.
So everybody, those games are in the time capsule that me and Corey made for this episode. We're gonna save our Wii U one, 3DS, and Switch for our final one. Our 3DS probably won't be too long, but our kind of like Switch and our Wii U one is gonna be very interesting. Our Switch one is probably, I think, going to be very easy for it. So with that, everybody, any final words, Corey, or anything?
No, I just classic games are fun. I wish I had more time to play them, and I wish a lot of these games were on some sort of device that had HDMI out. But it's all right. Classic games are good.
I'm having fun making these time capsules. I think it's really cool.
Yeah,
and everything.
It's fun.
So, with it, everybody, have a great week, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time on Nintendo Expansion Pass. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye. If you want to be a Patreon producer, head on over to Patreon, patreon.com/BossRushMedia, and find out which tier is right for you. Our Patreon producers at the $5 tier or higher for this month are Adriel Munger, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dirrig, Francisco Santillan, and Rebecca Jewell. Thank you for your continued support.